The biggest problem with this move is his shoulders are bigger than mine, his neck is too big, my arms are too short. That's perfectly acceptable. There's ways around it, and if you'd like to keep with it because you think it's cool, talk to me afterwards and I'll show you some stuff. Otherwise, what you can do is a variation on Sosu Jime. Okay. Same thing, okay? Gonna get that through, okay? Back around, but this time, my hand didn't make it, okay? My hand's either stuck on this side, okay? It's not here where I want. Okay, I have no control over his head anymore, which kind of sucks, but that's all right. And a lot of times this will happen because you come up too north-south on him, or too perpendicular to him, okay? So if that happens, or you just lose control of the head, don't worry about it. Put your other hand on his head, okay? Then I'm gonna take this hand, and I'm gonna remove one jacket sleeve, or skirt, okay? Shove it right back through, and catch the skirt. Okay, don't worry about making this super tight. It really doesn't matter. Okay, you will be surprised by how easily this comes on. Just pull it out, shove it back through, grab it. Okay, as soon as you get that, one hand on belt, knee sticks in between, the hole between his knee and his elbow, step over his head, sit sideways. Okay, the Israeli world champion Gerby can do this in like her sleep.
Actually, this is a move called Sosu, S-O-S-U Jime. Sosu means the apron of your judo gi. Sosu. So it's an old one. A guy named Kashiwazaki, who a lot of people have heard of, you know, multi-world and Sambo and judo world champion. He choked guys with this once in a while when he felt like it, I guess. He was that good. But Sosu Jime, and like Derek said, this is also a variation of it coming over the top. It can also be considered, because of the leg over the top, Jigoku Jime, or the hell choke, hell strangle, because it hurts like hell.
Yeah.
So either way, whatever you call it a pawn, right?
Yep.
There you go. So that's a little bit of history behind it.
Okay, so this is also really good if after I pop around on him, he tightens up and like balls up really tight, so I can't get anything here. I know I can keep my hand there, pull this out, slide it in between that hole, and just grab it somewhere around his chest.
So you're pulling with your left hand the apron loose,
yep,
and then filtering it under, looping it under his body, and
yep,
grabbing it with your right hand.
And just grab it. And
there
notice,
you go.
This is right where his chest is. Sometimes that's all they give you because they're so turtled up and tight. Doesn't matter though. As soon as I sit, I put my knee in between that hole and cover over. That's it. It's a very tight choke, and it's deceptively tight because you think you got to get your hands perfectly like when you do a regular like Air Jime or something like that. You don't have to have it right on the carotid. This does all the work. Okay. Questions?
One thing you might point when you're doing your knee over and sit through, show how you roll to your right onto your hip. That's a good point.
Okay. I'll see the BJJ guys do variations of this, and they always sit backwards. There's one called a Peruvian necktie, and they'll rock backwards. That's great, but it's a hell of a lot easier going this way. Okay. Once I hit this controls his butt. Okay. This controls his head. Now, if I roll backwards, he can flip out of it. If I roll this way, he tries to flip out of it. Go ahead. And there we are, okay? Still choking him. I'm controlling the way he's allowed to flip because I have my hand on his belt, okay? Plus, when I come through the side like this,
right over his head.
It's a lot worse.
Yeah, like I said, it hurts more. Yeah.
Holding him up onto the gi, and it's like he's being hung upside down. If I roll sideways, it's still the same thing as being strangled with your lapel. It hurts, it's bad, but your weight isn't all on it, okay? Flip yourself upside down and think of 160 pounds, 150 pounds, 230 pounds, all that going down onto a noose. It's not comfortable, okay? But you only get that when you go sideways. So try and sit on that hip. Foot goes up, right onto the hip, okay? If he starts kicking over, just go with it, and then put your hips in. Okay?
And the choke continues when you do that. The choke does continue. We want
Yes.
everybody to know that.
Yeah.
It's nasty.
Until he gets his head free of the choke completely, you're still going after it. Okay? Good? Questions? All right, go.
Can we see it one more time
Oh,
for the
one more
YouTube people, and then we're done with that. So from the start.
All right. Head through. Move up. Okay, don't have my head on there, but I'm going to control his head with this hand. I'm going to pull this out, slip it through the knot, grab it, belt, head.
There you go. So Sosu Jime, apron of the gi, strangle. There we have it.
Good.